Alignment is a subject that's been talked about quite a lot recently in regards of does it actually matter in our games, and do the PCs need to have alignment, and do the monsters need alignment in these adventure modules. I want to tell you that alignment matters. Now, first and foremost, something that needs to be addressed is alignment is not something that's solid. It is not hardwired into the PCs and into most of the monsters. Alignment is fluid. Alignment is a thing that can and probably should change depending on the course of actions that your PC does. If you have someone that says they're totally good, but then they do something totally evil, well, there you go. The alignment changes over time. Same thing with the monsters. You look there in the monster manual and whatever else, it says that this monster is of this alignment. Well, guess what? It doesn't need to be that all the time. It can be a lot of the time, but you can just say screw it. You can say that the trolls are all good now. You can say that all the flumps are evil now. You can change it up. And it's good to change it up. That means you can spice it up and have some variety in the game. But the reasons why I like alignment in my games is that it adds conflict and compromise. You have elements in play in the world where there is good, there is evil, and there's neutrality. And those things directly oppose one another and directly tie into one another. And the best part about all this is the nuances therein. You can have so many awesome encounters where you've got the good cleric who opposes evil and is totally friends with this awesome person. But guess what? It turns out that awesome person's undead and they actually worship a evil god. Even though they are a totally awesome person, they've been friends for so long, boom, conflict. What's going on? Does the cleric decide to shun away their alignment, or do they give in and must now combat their former friend? And at the same time, we can have the good aligned party about to fight the evil red dragon. But then guess what? An even more terrifying monstrosity appears, and now the party and the dragon, even though they are totally opposed to one another, have to work together to resolve the conflict. These things are fantastic. Conflict and compromise in our games is a fantastic thing. I like the mechanical implications of alignment. I like it when you have items that say this can only be used by someone that's good, or this can only be used by someone that's evil, and you can only use this item if you are neutral. What these items do is push people to a certain path. While if you only add one of these items, they may feel forced into it. What I would recommend is if you are using alignment and alignment based items, then you push a whole bunch of items and it pushes the players in different directions on where they may wish to put their alignment in. At the same time, I would totally love a return of spells and abilities that are tied to alignment, because once again, that shows off what is going on in the world. If you've got spells that only work if you're good or evil, or spells that affect other people differently based on their alignment. Now, all of these things combined tell a tale of the world. There are forces at play people cannot comprehend, they cannot touch. There is alignment in the air. Everyone has these alignments, and they truly do matter. You have the everyday common person is probably going to be neutral, but maybe this holy order of knights is lawful good. And while all the humanoids may differ depending on their alignment, you can also have those monsters that are rigid. You can have those dragons that are always good and those dragons that are always evil. Now, the most important thing about alignment is you do not tell the player that they can or cannot do something based on their alignment. What you say is, hey, you're a lawful good person. Do you really want to commit that crime? And that is when you get the fun nuance. That is when they say, oh, you know what? Because I am a lawful good person, I'm not going to break the law. Or they do break the law, and then their alignment is going to shift over time. Never take away the agency of their player character. Never say that, oh, your player character wouldn't do that, because you don't control their player character, they do. Just inform them of the consequences of their actions. Now, it's important to note that whenever your alignments do shift, it shouldn't be super gamey, but it needs to be felt. It needs to be real. Because someone starts off a certain alignment and they can shift over time, there should not be any major shifts from any minor actions. If you have someone that's lawful good, there shouldn't be just a tiny little thing that turns them chaotic evil. But there could be some extremely major event that could potentially turn them that way, right? So I would recommend that if their alignment ever changes based on the action that they do, try to make it so that their alignment only shifts one space at any particular time, whether that be from lawful good to lawful neutral, or from neutral to chaotic neutral, etc., etc. So one thing I've done with my incredible drawing skills here is this alignment grid here. This is something that you could potentially use for monsters, let's say. I have drawn this up with the implication that green means that it's more than likely, yellow meaning it's semi-likely, and red being is not very likely in regards of monsters. So I could have this here for a troll, let's say. The troll is more than likely going to be chaotic evil or neutral evil, but it could potentially be lawful evil, it could potentially be chaotic neutral, it could potentially be neutral, and it's not very likely to be in any of the good departments. But you can totally shift that up. You can totally change it to whatever you want. Because instead of the stat block saying it's typically this one alignment, you could just simply say, hey, it's typically these alignments, and you can see where they could potentially go to. I like alignment in my games. I find that it adds a structure to the world that I like. I like the idea of people going against the alignment that they originally start with. I like the idea of people trying to hold on to their beliefs throughout the course of the game. I like these things because I truly do believe it makes the game more rich. So go ahead and tell me, do you like alignment in your games, or do you just completely erase that and throw it out the window? Do you like the mechanical implications of alignment in regards of items and spells and abilities, or do you think that everyone should be able to use everything? And what would possibly prompt a good party to align with an evil dragon? Go ahead and tell me those things because I would love to hear it. But that's going to do it for me. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. And thank you to my amazing patrons. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so very much. And I cannot wait to see you all in the next one.